Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back again doing your mid-September 2015 monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Pisces. And I'm back using my regular Shadowscapes deck. I had to pause my computer for a moment, but I did shuffle, and I just laid out a spread for you guys. So I'm just going to jump back in. I will say the update here is I'm not going to be using my sex and relationships deck for a while. I am going to be using my regular Shadowscapes deck for several months until I feel like doing the sex and relationship videos again. So just so you guys know, that's the update. So it looks like you guys have a lot going on for September. You know, it's kind of I feel like it's a tough. You do have a lot of good things, but this is a kind of a tough time for some of you, and it could be that the beginning of September was tough, and you were kind of going through some things, and now things are kind of coming to a head. You have the Five of Pentacles, you know, in the heartbeat of what I call the heartbeat of the reading, and the Five of Pentacles is you know, the Miss Lonely Hearts card, okay? This is someone who's, you know, going through some kind of breakup, and she's crying in bed, and she's like really upset, or she's just really lonely, and she's like alone at night, and she feels like, you know, or he feels just lonely and sad, and like they're never gonna find love, and this is for the ladies, this is you. For the guys, this could be someone that you're in a relationship with that feels this way. There's some element of sadness and loneliness on their part. You may have recently broken up with someone. You do have the Justice card crossing you. So it may be, you know, that you're going through some kind of divorce or separation, or because this to me is divorce and or breakup. And I feel like you've gotten this before. So maybe this is kind of like an ongoing thing where you're still trying, maybe you're undecided about getting a divorce, or you're undecided about breaking up. There's some, you know, element of decision making here. The Justice card can also be making a very good decision, because it's weighing things and then you make the decision. This is also a karma card, so there's some karma elements here happening. But because you have the Five of Pentacles with the Justice card, I really feel like it's primarily a breakup or a divorce for a lot of you. Now, this is a general reading, so I am not saying that every Pisces in the universe is going through this, okay? If you resonate with this, and you know, then this is applicable to you. If this is not something that's come up before for you, then this obviously is not. If you're happily married, this does not apply, okay? But typically, this is one of the divorce cards, and or breakup, and the Five of Pentacles is the girl that's just broken up with someone most of the time. Not always. Sometimes it's just being very lonely. So some of you, for those of you who are single, are just feeling like you're never going to find love. Interestingly, though, you've got the Ten of Cups crowning you. Okay, so this is the Sex card. This is also the love, romance, happiness, and bliss card. So, and also financial prosperity. So, I mean, and this is definitely you, Pisces. I mean, Pisces guys, Pisces girls. You could have a Pisces combination too with this. Could also be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio combination, some kind. Because the Ten of Cups is crowning you, you may have the hots for someone, okay? Because to me, I see it more a lot of times as having the hots for someone, like real bad, you know? Or maybe just feeling very sexy. You know, for you Pisces, it's not hard. You know, Pisces is usually always feeling quite sexy. I've never met a Pisces who wasn't sexy. Let's just put it that way, okay? So, I'm saying you're sexy, Pisces. You're like, oh, thank you. But don't let your head swell up like a balloon, okay, Pisces. You gotta control that, okay. Um, so yeah. So interestingly, you have that. So I don't feel like you're going to be sad and depressed and lonely for very long, okay? I feel like this is a passing thing. This is mid-September. You're feeling this way, but if you're getting a divorce or breakup, it's actually going to be good for you. I feel like in the end, it's going to be good for you. If you've already broken up with someone, then it's good for you. You're moving on, okay? Definitely move on. Pisces needs to move on. They can get stuck, or they can go back very easily with somebody who's not good for them. You may be conflicted a little bit because, or you may just have somebody there may be either on for you or your partner, there may be somebody on the side. There may be some kind of lover on the side, okay? I don't necessarily feel that way. I just feel like your focus is sex and romance in middle of September, okay? And you may be getting it on unexpectedly, even though, you've been in this Miss Lonely Hearts or Mr. Lonely Hearts moment. You may be unexpectedly falling in love with someone. You may be unexpectedly having the hots for someone. You may unexpectedly get a lot of money because there's a lot of money element to the Ten of Cups. There's a strong financial element there. So money is going to be just flowing in for you. In the distant past, we have you, Pisces, guys. The Knight of Cups. For the Pisces ladies, this can also indicate a Cancer, Scorpio, or Libra. It can also indicate a Pisces guy, but again, Pisces combination, but can also be the Libra. I see a lot of times as the Libra. Okay, not always. So that's in the distant past, and this is, the Knight of Cups is you, Pisces guys. Needing to ride things out. Pisces actually is very good a lot of times going with the flow, okay? So I feel like you're kind of in your groove, beginning of September, especially Pisces guys, you're in your groove, and you may, for some reason, be, I feel like for some reason you may be in some kind of cycle where you're breaking up and getting back together with someone. Because you have the Knight of Cups in the foundation, which is going with the flow, letting things play out regardless. And then you have the Justice crossing, and then you have the Sex card crowning. So it's sort of just like hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold kind of thing. You may just be kind of all over the place emotionally. So emotionally, Pisces, this is not the best time for you, has not been the best time for you, okay? You may have had some health things come up, you may have been, especially the guys, feeling very stressed out, or, if this breakup or divorce has been very stressful on you. This could be, you just, feeling kind of, this is a test of your inner strength, feeling very tested, very drained, very tired, and you do need to take better care of your health. You may not be sleeping right or eating right. And this is needing patience too. I feel like it's linking up with this Justice card. So it's sort of like the two are really coming together. So for those of you in complicated relationships, there's somebody else on the side. Your partner has somebody else on the side. For those of you who aren't in a complicated relationship, there's some element of karma in your relationship, and chances are you're either going to get a breakup or get a divorce sooner than later. Okay, that's kind of how I feel. If you haven't already, it's still going on, maybe in your mind, something, there. Those of you who are single, this is, you wanting a relationship, you wanting to have sex. This is you wanting to have the whole ball of wax. If you are single, you want the full package. You don't want to just one night stand here, there, whatever. You want a real relationship. I feel like that's kind of like on your mind. So guys and girls, you know, you're being tested. You've been tested. Okay, so the beginning of September feels like very rough for some reason, just very rough, very tested. Maybe just kind of all over the place emotionally, hot and cold. You may be not able to make a decision whether you want somebody or don't want somebody in your life. You may have kind of like a lover that kind of comes and goes, you know, and I feel like this is kind of like a phase. This is kind of like a phase that you're going through. You're moving into like a whole new, kind of a new phase. And in the immediate future, you have the Three of Pentacles, which is a great card about partnership and friendship and supporting someone. You know, Pisces guys, I mean, this is you and your partner or your soon-to-be or your soon-to-be partner. This is like a new relationship, the beginning of a new relationship. I usually see this as someone who, I want to say that usually this is someone who has the potential to be famous, okay? Because this is a star. There's 3 stars here. And there's a guy lifting up the girl, and the girl may already be famous, but she's soon to become more famous, okay? Down the line here, because this is her path, and she really has you know, a lot of magical gifts and a lot of magical qualities about her. So this may be like a new partnership of some kind, whether it's a coworker, business relationship, friendship. I see this as being a very strong foundation for a new relationship. It can also be the guy too, because the two kind of go back and forth. Okay, so he supports her and she supports him. It's a mutually beneficial type of relationship. It's a really great card, and you know, Pisces, I feel like Pisces guys, this is you wanting to be supportive of a partner. This is you wanting support from a partner as well back. You know, it's not just all about how you are supporting them. But you may meet someone who is like either very well known or will be very well known. Okay, maybe in a relationship with, like, I want to say like a movie star or a music star or someone who has that like star quality about them, where they just really shine. You know. You know, this is just a very powerful, like, artistic, creative card as well. So those of you who are, and I know Pisces is usually very creative, working on a project, this bodes very well for projects. This bodes very well for business for those of you who are getting into new business. This can even indicate a lot of times a new job, a promotion, a step up, because, you know, she's being lifted up. So you may be in, like, Pisces guys, you may be in like the supportive role of your wife in some way. You know, your wife may be, you know, the sole breadwinner, or she may be elevated in status in some way, more so than you. She may have like a very high powered job or something. Or you could just meet someone like that, and that's going to be the dynamic where you're in kind of a very supportive role in your relationship. But that doesn't mean she doesn't support you back, because this is both. Okay, so I feel like if you've been in a relationship, there may have been some tests. You know, you may have been through some tests with it. You may be still in the process of getting a divorce. For some of you, and you know, now you may be just kind of floating free. Some of you are floating, you know, around and floating free, and you're not sure what you're going to do with your newfound freedom, although I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to do with it. But you haven't figured it out yet, so I'll leave it up to you to imagine what that is. But in the card in the position of emotions, you have the card about waiting, okay? So some of you are in that boat of waiting on someone, okay? If you're in one of those relationships that comes and goes, because Pisces is very well known for doing this, coming and going. If you're, for whatever reason, that if you're the person that's coming and going, someone's waiting on you. If you're the person that's waiting on someone that's coming and going, or in a relationship with someone that comes and goes, this is you. Okay, this is you waiting. And it's also a card about, watching your diet, implementing more fruits and vegetables into your diet. I'm not sure what you're eating, but you might want to switch, go organic, or you might want to go local. You might want to, get some diet books. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you really start to juice. This is one of those cards that talks a lot about diet, okay? Emotionally, you're waiting. And that's not a good place for Pisces to be, because that means you're really kind of stuck. You're kind of like emotionally stuck in some kind of waiting game. And it's not fun. So, I feel like you'll be happier if you change your diet. I feel like in a year's time, because this is also a card about fruition, that waiting for the harvest, and the harvest takes time, okay? So this is being patient. So this is you needing patience. Things taking maybe time. In a year's time, maybe your divorce will be finalized, or in a year's time, maybe you'll be, I want to say, in a new partnership. Those of you who are getting out of a relationship, or even the current partner that you have, things will change, okay, with the current partner that you have, okay? So, for some of you, not all of you, I don't necessarily feel like, I feel like if you're in a marriage situation, I feel like your marriage may be, for some of you, very challenging at times. And there may be some old stuff that you need to really let go of. Those of you who are single, this is strictly diet, okay? Strictly diet, or, you're impatient about something that's going on. Maybe you've got a work situation that's going on, because to me this is not a lot of times a work card. Maybe you're waiting to get a new job. There's some element there of waiting. And then the message from the outside, from the universe, for you is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is, the card about not worrying. If you have kids, this is not worrying about your kids, not needing to worry about your kids, okay? If you have had, been plagued by collections agencies and bills and ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, ex-wives, so this is where you're kind of free of all that, This is where you're moving into a new space. This is you getting better sleep at night. The Six of Swords and the Hanged Man, to me, really tie together, okay? Because they have very similar energy. So you needing to sleep right at night, sleeping better at night is key for your overall health. For whatever reason, I feel like you haven't been sleeping enough at night. So you need to get better rest for whatever reason that's coming up. And you will be getting better rest. You will in the future. Things will change. For whatever reason, if you've been up at night, late at night, and just like not able to sleep, or if you've been, if you have kind of a crazy work schedule, or your partner has a crazy work schedule, this is you needing to get better sleep at night and also making sure that happens, okay? So you also have, in the position of attitude, the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is a card about needing to delegate, okay? Female Pisces especially, this is coming up for you. And this is you needing to say no to people who may be kind of burdening you with their emotions, limiting your obligations, and lightening the load of responsibilities, okay? So for some of you, it's, you have a lot on your plate, or I will say, because this is a card in the position, it's a future position here. So this is down the line, maybe towards the end of September, you're going to need to unwind. You're going to need to unload some of the burdens that you have, some of the things that are causing you stress, okay? If you don't lighten your physical or mental load, okay? Some of you do need to lose weight, but if you don't lighten the load as far as, you know, your responsibilities and your stress, you're headed for a collapse, okay? This is a collapse of just, you know, exhaustion, and some of you it's dehydration, some of you it's an emotional breakdown, okay? I see this mostly as an emotional breakdown. So, and wouldn't be surprised because Pisces is, you know, very, you know, it's a water sign. Their heads are very much waterlogged. So you need to delegate responsibilities. Tell other people no as much as possible. Make time for yourself. Try to get organized. I swear, you know, the more you tell a Pisces to get organized, I feel like the less organized it becomes. So I'm going to tell you this, whether you take this information and to heart or not is up to you. This is where Pisces really start to stress me out. I start to go, oh, you know, you do need to get organized, Pisces, okay? Or else it's going to be harder for you later down the line to keep your, you know, they say messy rooms make for messy thoughts, to keep your emotional stability, to keep your mental stability, you know. And physically, some of you are working too much, too hard. You're either working too many jobs or your household has become a burden for you. Maybe it's become a financial burden. There's just too many, I want to say too many bills to pay, you know, and not enough to pay them. So that's where you need to either, but I want to say you need to work smarter rather than harder, because I feel like if you work any harder and you get any less sleep, you're going to collapse. You're going to just become, you're going to be so tired and you're going to be so exhausted that you're not going to be able to you're not going to be productive, and it's going to actually make it worse for you. So, and the outcome, it's very odd to have this as an outcome, and I don't really like this card particularly because there's so many different aspects to it. It's kind of a wishy-washy card. Originally, this was the card without a yes or a no, because I wrote a yes or no in every single card with the exception of like 2. And this is one of those cards where it originally was a tie, okay? This was a win-win, lose-lose, you know, situation, okay? I feel like some of you are going to be getting some kind of settlement. You may be waiting on a settlement for some of you. That's what you're waiting on. And some of you, I want to say some of you are in a partnership where one of you is spending a lot of money, okay? Pisces, money flows. I mean, this is has to do with your sign. It has to do with astrology. So it's more just something that you have to kind of work on controlling. And Pisces is not really mindful of the money that it spends. It just has money and then it just goes and spends it. So this is a card about having a lot of expenses and spending a lot, okay? But it's also a card about resentment. So you have to be careful because there may be some resentment within your relationship or lingering resentment. So if say you don't get a divorce and say you were still with someone at the end of September, there's resentment there. There's resentment. Maybe someone's making more than somebody else. Maybe someone's spending more than somebody else. And this is the argument that comes up, you know, in marriages the most. You know, it's on the radio. The number one reason people get a divorce is financial, or sorry, not the number one reason people get a divorce, but the number one reason people argue or fight in a relationship is because of money. So you need to kind of get on the same financial page as your partner. If you are single, you need to watch your spending and kind of get on a budget and figure out what your budget is. If you don't have one, because I really doubt. Message me if you have a budget. I'd be very happy to hear that, and you know, surprised and shocked, but still happy to hear that. So you may just have a lot of expenses towards the end of September for some reason, or you may be very conscious about money for some reason towards the end of September. So these are things to think about. If you're, like I said, in your partnership, your partner, you feel like maybe you spend a lot on your partner, and your partner doesn't spend as much on you. You know, some of you literally, especially for the guys. For some of you guys literally spend a fortune on your partner, or you just shower them. You basically give them everything that they want financially, and you don't realize that they support you as well in a lot of ways, and they do a lot for you. But there's resentment there because of how much you give to them financially. Okay, so it's like, you may give to them financially, but you don't realize and appreciate what they give to you in a non-financial way. So it's kind of a tough place to end. So I want to pull another card here. Interesting. So you got the Queen of Swords. Another strange card for you, Pisces. End of September, early October. The Queen of Swords is either the Aquarius or Capricorn female. You may be, I want to say you may become very bitter from your, if you're going through some kind of divorce. You may meet someone who's either born, I want to say born in the winter time, who's an Aquarius or Capricorn female. Pisces guys, Pisces girls, this is you freezing over and becoming very distrustful and being very cautious and guarded. And you really need to be cautious of pushing people away, being rude to others, and trying to control things too much. So you may have some kind of Pisces, Capricorn, or Pisces Aquarius going on in your chart for whatever reason. I feel like specifically Pisces guys, this is someone you may meet. I feel like they're going to come across. You're going to meet them at some point, and she's looking for honesty and loyalty and trust at all costs. So make sure that if you get into a relationship with her, that this is what you want as well. Okay. If you want to be the player, going back to your player days, which weren't that long ago, for you player guys, you know, if you're the player, you know, I would advise you not to get into a relationship with this Queen of Swords person, because this Queen of Swords person will, you know, bite back, you know, fight back. You know, she can, you know, I always say when it comes to Aquarius, especially Aquarius, Capricorn female, they can rip a Pisces ego to shreds, okay, like tatters, like nothing left, really. So you gotta watch out, because you get hurt. She could really hurt you. But, you know, if you're up for the challenge, maybe, I want to say that you're meant for each other. So this could be a new relationship. It could be very positive. But you need to kind of feel it out and see where she's at. If you meet this Queen of Swords and, you know, you're looking for a relationship and you feel like you can deliver that for her, she'll turn into something better. Okay, she'll melt, all the ice will melt, and she'll be, you know, a lot warmer, because she has a warm heart. So I always talk about how she's frozen on the outside and she has a warm heart. So bear that in mind. So that's the last card. I'm going to leave you on that. It's kind of a cliffhanger, but if you want a private reading, you're going to have to email me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com, to find out what's going on for you personally. And I will be back again for the October 2015 readings soon. So stay tuned for more, and I wish you guys all the best. I'm going to send you big hugs. Big hugs. Big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care.